And welcome to the Central Christian College of Kansas online BS in Healthcare Administration Program Information Session. My name is Lygia Popescu, and I will be your host today. Before we begin, please refresh your browsers and turn up the volume on your computer or device to hear the audio, especially if you're listening on demand. If you're having any technical difficulties or if you have questions for our panelists today, please type them into the Q&A box and hit send. Here's a quick look at what we'll be covering today. First, we'll hear from Dr. Lenny Favara, Provost and Chief Academic Officer, who will give us an overview of Central Christian College of Kansas, followed by Dr. Samantha Starke, Professor in the CCC Online BS in Healthcare Administration program. She will give us an overview of the program and discuss the career benefits of a healthcare administration degree and the opportunities, the career opportunities available to graduates. Student Success Advisor Courtney Mosey will then talk about the supported online learning experience and what that means for online students, followed by Enrollment Advisor Rocky Desai, who will talk about the program requirements for admission, as well as some important dates to keep in mind. We will end with a Q&A session, so if you have any general question about the program or a specific question for our panelists, just type them into the Q&A box and we will try to answer as many as time allows. Now, let's begin. Our first panelist, Dr. Lenny Favara, brings 20 years of experience with Central Christian College of Kansas and is also an alum. Dr. Favara, thanks so much for joining us today. Will you share a little bit about your background with our audience today?
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate the chance to be able to share during this time. I am the provost of the institution. Basically, it means the academic dean. I have been with Central for about 20 years and helped with the establishment of our adult program and our distance program, especially with the design of our online programs. Now, I'll tell you honestly, I think was already said, I am an alum, so I went to Central Christian as a young student, then went to Kansas State University and eventually to North Central University to finish my graduate work. And much of my programs after Central were all online or accelerated or adult degree. So when Central Christian invited me back to campus as an instructor and an administrator, one of the things they asked is, can you help us design what we want to do for our adult learners and online learners? And I was like, oh, let me tell you, there's a lot that I've learned through other institutions and other experience, some things I liked, some things I didn't like. And so the design of the program that you're looking at today is built on the wealth of that knowledge, the knowledge of other students. And really, I'm here just to make sure that the experience that you have here is a positive one and is one that matters as you look for a future vocation or fulfilling the calling upon your life. So again, thanks for letting me be here today. I'm not sure if we lost our host, but I'll go ahead and introduce our second panelist, Dr. Samantha Starke. I was just talking to her beforehand. Samantha has been with us for some time now, and I really appreciate the work that she's done. She's helped oversee our healthcare program, the development of it, and some of the faculty that are associated with it, and she's constantly bringing ideas forth. And I'll just let her introduce herself and some of her background. So, Dr. Starke?
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Favara. Well, thank you for having me today. I'm very excited to get to talk with you and help you with just moving one step forward with your future goals. My name is Dr. Samantha Starke, and I am a professor in the Healthcare Administration Department. I specialize in healthcare. I, too, just as Dr. Favara mentioned, have taken some online classes. I started with my bachelor's at Missouri State. I was on ground taking classes in seat, and also with my master's, and moved forward to starting taking some online classes. So I understand what it's like to be an online student, and I really enjoy working in the online distance learning platform. I think it's the future, and I think it's a great way to expand our knowledge and our strength and our growth. So I'm really excited for you that this is something that you're considering. My professional background, I worked in nursing administration, floating to different departments in the hospital, but my real strong focus was in mental health and doing a lot of clinical work in that area. I've several universities been able to work and expand and grow, working and teaching and developing courses. I teach several classes here at CCC, so very excited to continue doing that and hopefully working with you someday. We have several courses and a lot we're going to be talking about in the next few minutes, so thank you for having me again.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Favara to give us an overview of Central Christian.
All right, so real quick, just to help you understand, we've been around for a long time. Central Christian is located here in McPherson, Kansas, though we are a global campus through virtual learning. Founded in 1884, and up until we became a four-year college a number of years ago, we were the oldest junior college in the state of Kansas. That just tells you that we have been around. Now, during our entire history, we've been dedicated to the small college experience, meaning we want to deliver a personalized education, and so we've kind of kept things small on purpose. Now, you think small, but you're global. Yes, we are global, but even there, we try to keep our classroom sizes down so that, so again, it's personalized. You can ask questions, you can get learners, and so on. And I think that's important. For me, it benefits me as a teacher to know who's in my class and to know what it is that you're wanting to do with your life, and I think that makes the whole experience just better. The mission of the college is, if the mission statement actually reads, a Christ-centered education for character, and if I take that apart, we are a Christian institution. We're associated with the Free Methodist Church of North America. Please understand, though, that being a Christian has nothing. It's not a requirement for attending. It just means that our faculty that teach you online are going to teach from a Christian perspective, from a Judeo-Christian perspective. Our real focus is on character development, and when we were defining character, we felt like the Christian church would help us be able to define that best. So we believe in something called the fit heart, fit mind, fit body, fit soul, which is something we'll get to later on in the presentation. But understand that that's where we're coming from. The big things in understanding who we are is our accreditation. We're still we are a regionally accredited college, which means the accreditation of large universities, we share that same accreditation. So you can be assured that what you're learning here is rigorous, it's going to be recognized, and that's important. We are a pretty diverse student body. If you compare us to most other institutions in the United States, you're going to find that we demonstrate high diversity, and that means, one, you're going to get to know people who are like you. You're not going to be the only one out there. And two, it's great to share these different perspectives. We have people from urban areas, suburban areas, from different ethnicities, different walks of life, different times of life, and that's great because it brings the richness of all those experiences to the classroom. Also, we are a military-friendly school. Not everyone's associated with the military, but I think, if nothing more, it demonstrates that we, as an institution, try to reach out to students in whatever population. The fact that the military recognizes us as a friendly school demonstrates that, as an institution, we are dedicated to reaching out and touching the lives of students in a way that is most helpful to them. So again, a little overview. We'll talk some more about some of the specifics later.
Thank you. Now I'd like to turn it over. Actually, Dr. Favara, there's a little bit more information we'd like to share about the core values and the philosophy. You mentioned the fourth bit, but... Oh,
yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot this slide was here. Yeah, so at its base core, the mission is defined by the Fit Four, and you see it here on this slide, the fit heart, fit mind, fit body, fit soul. When we said we wanted to help develop people of character, we felt that as we looked at Scripture, it said that a person whose heart, mind, and body and soul is focused in the right direction, that person will be a full person. And so as you go through this class, or these classes, as you look at the degree, one of the things you're going to see is a dedication not just for the information. Dr. Starke will talk a little bit about the specifics related to what you will learn in the classroom related to healthcare administration, but you need to understand that the classes are designed to really challenge you in 4 areas. One is Fit Heart, which deals with the cultural and relational side. Who am I socially? Who am I as I engage other people? Am I able to engage people in civic discussion? Am I involved in my community? Those kind of questions. Fit Minds, do I know what I need to know? And that really is a lot of the coursework is focused on, making sure that you are the most knowledgeable healthcare worker out there. It also deals a little, though, with who I am. Who do I think I am? Do I have a healthy self-image of myself? One of the great things about taking courses online and succeeding in that process is you just begin to gain confidence. You begin to get a sense of who you are and self-worth. And that's pretty cool. Fit Bodies, no, we're not going to make you run a virtual mile or anything like that. We're more focused on the idea that you're going to learn a lot of knowledge, but knowledge that's in your mind but can't be expressed in skill doesn't matter very much. And so part of what we want to focus on is skill development, so the physical and vocational ability to do what you learn through knowledge is very important to us. And then Fit Soul, of course, we believe that we're all spiritual beings, and so my ability to reflect on who I am, to this world out here, and what does that mean, what's the meaning of life and what's its value, we're going to wrestle with those issues all throughout the experience until you graduate. And so that, again, just kind of gives you a background on what we will focus on in the totality of your experience. And I think Dr. Starke is going to talk a little bit about the program itself.
Go ahead, take it away, Dr. Starke.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here, but just let me know if I talk too long, because I could talk about this all day. So just let me know if I need to answer some questions. So once again, I'm really happy to talk about our program. It's an excellent program, and like we were just mentioning, especially for online learning, I know a lot of you have family life, you have maybe a professional life, work life. So we are able to accommodate all of your needs, and you can still reach your goals and your dreams of achieving this degree. So that's what's so wonderful about having an online program, is that you can have your life and work at more of an asynchronous schedule at times. And I'll be talking more about how the classroom structure is set up in a minute, because I'm sure you have a lot of questions about that. We have 100% online program delivery, 40 courses. Our courses are about 6 weeks long, and that is an average. Believe that's how it is across the board. You'll complete 1 course at a time, so every 6 weeks you'll have a class. I believe we have usually have a break in the summer and a break in December over the holidays. The courses and your course materials are available to you 24/7. As a professor, I'm pretty much available 24/7 too. I always tell my students, hey, contact me even if I have students who work nights and they're working a lot at night. Just, you can contact me when you need to. I want you to know that I'm there for you, and I will help answer any questions that you may have. So it is nice to have your instructors. They're frequently checking and responding to your emails within 24 hours. Transfer credits, I'm sure a lot of you guys might have some transfer credits, and we'd love to look at those and see what you might have to transfer. We also offer on-the-job experience transfer credit or credits towards the program, so that might be a really good opportunity for you. The Applied Research Project says it's an opportunity to apply knowledge in real life, and that's something that you will be working towards at the end of your degree here, and you'll kind of bring it all together and focus on how you can apply what you've learned to the real world and healthcare. The time to completion, this is dependent on how many transfer credits you might have. Some of you may have a little, some of you may not have any, or some of you may have quite a bit and may be able to start in maybe after maybe you've completed your associates and you just want to roll that in. We can, of course, look at that and get you rolling. The curriculum themes, we're going to be covering some accounting. As you know, in healthcare, we do have a lot of accounting principles, and that might even be in terms of billing and receiving. So that's an important part. Healthcare law and health regulations, those are always changing, and it's important to stay on top of the current and existing regulations and laws so we can stay compliant with our healthcare policies. And that's where you will learn more about that, which is can also expand into some opportunities for your professional career as well. And I can talk more about that when we move to that section. Economics, of course, marketing strategy. I love marketing and talking and working with students on how to develop marketing strategies for our healthcare operations. We have to bring our patients in somehow, whether it's with word of mouth, or it's billboards, online campaigns. We'll be talking about that. Information technology, really important in healthcare today. We're advancing dramatically, very quickly with the IT, a lot of job opportunities in that area, so that's a strong focus for us as well. Operations management, of course, and leadership. We want you to be a great leader, and we want to set you up for future success so you can reach those top positions that you're looking for to lead others in a positive direction for your employer. So those will be some themes that we'll be looking at in the healthcare program. As you can see in the curriculum breakdown, we have some foundational skills, liberal arts, and then the healthcare administration core of 45 credit hours is where you'll be bringing a lot of those core courses. Of course, if you're going to be gaining a healthcare administration degree, we want you to have a strong focus in that healthcare administration area. And then with your electives altogether is 120 credit hours, and like we mentioned, you might have some transfer credits or maybe on-the-job experience that can contribute to that. Okay, so here's more information in terms of the curriculum. The foundational skills, essentials for college success, writing for life, writing for college. These are some of the courses that you might take just to build some of those foundational skills, which will build you up and set you up for success in your future courses as well. The liberal arts, we obviously are working with those Fit For to help build you up and build your character, as Dr. Favara mentioned. So these are some great courses that we have listed here that you will participate in or have the opportunity to, hopefully, or if you have transfer credits, obviously that will be considered later, but some science courses, mathematics courses, natural science, statistical reasoning, which sounds fun, but statistics, I love statistics. History courses, social science, humanities, wellness for life, which is an awesome course. Philosophy, contemporary culture and worldviews, which is wonderful. It also will help you in healthcare degree as well, because we want to look in terms of global health in many areas. Focusing on healthcare administration. Okay, so this is a long list of courses. I don't have time to speak about each of them in particular, but I do have some of these here highlighted of some of the main courses that I work with, so I can talk and answer questions on some of these courses. Now, whenever you are taking a healthcare course, we do have weekly discussions, and you'll have a weekly assignment as well that you will work on in each of these courses. So for a basic week, you'll be responding to 2 different discussion boards, which will pertain information about the class that you are working on, and then your apply assignment, which you will be submitting on a weekly basis. And for all these courses that I teach are exactly the same in that format. The patient communication and service excellence, just really focusing on how we can communicate better with our patients. What can we do to provide quality care, quality service, and how we can learn from that, and what we can do to maybe get better feedback from our patients so we can continue to provide better service. Principles of healthcare management, that's a basic management course, and just learning some of those key management techniques to help prepare you for your future in healthcare. Organizational behavior and leadership, really focusing there on the key organizational foundation, what you can do as a leader, some situations that you might come across and how you can better handle them as a leader. In healthcare marketing, like I mentioned, those are one of my favorite courses. Discussing some marketing strategies. There are a couple of different marketing courses that I do teach, and we will learn. Some of them are for maybe a private care. You will be discussing for-profit hospitals, marketing strategies, all different kinds of marketing strategies to help that your hospital, your facility, your clinic, whichever you might be working with, maybe it's a charity, to help get their word out, help develop an outreach for marketing standards. Principles of managed care, we'll be talking more about managed care in that course, and there's a lot going on in managed care right now, and especially with our future baby boomers coming up and the expanding aging population. So those are some key topics, especially in the U.S. healthcare systems as well, discussing how our healthcare system functions, even in terms of finances as well. Leadership and change in healthcare. Healthcare will always be changing, and that's what's so important about keeping our curriculum up to date and current. So whenever you get out there in the field, you know exactly what's going on with some of what you might be training, what you might be working with your staff and your manager, or if you are the leader in that healthcare facility, that you can lead your staff in the right direction. Let's see. Financial management in healthcare. Finances are a major, major portion of our healthcare system, making sure that we are providing the quality in terms of how we are considering payroll, what we're doing to make sure that our financial institutions are compliant with the financial standards. There's a lot that you'll be learning in financial management. I don't want you to think that it's going to be overwhelming. When a lot of people see finance, they might get worried because they think about numbers. A lot of people aren't huge math fans, but that financial management in healthcare is really not too driven on numbers, but more exactly how you can handle those numbers, what you can do to analyze those numbers and make better decisions for your facility. And then, as you can see, there's a few other courses left here that are the core courses, strategic management, human resource management, and then obviously your applied research project, which is we consider it the capstone. Near the end of your degree, you'll take that and apply what you've learned to your future career. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Share some of the program goals.
Okay, perfect. So I know I've kind of mentioned some of this information briefly, but some of the goals that we have, and I know this list had to be shortened because we have a lot of goals for you, and our goal really is to see you succeed. And my goal as a professor is to see you succeed. I want to see you achieving your goals. I want to see you succeeding in the course. And I want you to come to me if you have questions or if you have problems, or maybe you're not understanding something correctly, or maybe you're just nervous because you're an online student for the first time and you just want to talk to me about what I can do to help you succeed. We're here for you for that. And as a program, we're not only thinking of you succeeding in your future career, but we want you to succeed as an individual and also help build your character. So you do have a great amount of support here at Central Christian College. But in terms of the program goals, developing a knowledge of healthcare systems in the U.S., we want you to lead effectively, and we want you to be able to be a great example for our healthcare system. I know all of you, whenever you graduate, I want you to make some changes to regulations, provide healthcare for our future generations, and set up the great policies that we can follow for years to come. I want to see you succeeding, and I want to see you out there leading the drive for our healthcare system. Enhancing leadership competencies and technology proficiency in finance, of course, marketing, like I mentioned, some strategic planning. Also, the key in almost any organization you can work with, and also in your personal life, is effective communication. And that's another strong focus that we discuss in many of our classes, is making sure you're communicating, and our modes of communication, how we communicate with others, and how you can work together as a team. Healthcare works as a team, because that's how we can provide the best patient care and the best quality of care. Developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills. There's going to be times when you might come across a problem, or you might want to look at some solutions to some areas and what's the best way that we can solve this and how can we make this better. So we'll be covering some of that information, and that's a program goal to set you up for success in those areas. And then that kind of ties into information literacy. We want to make sure that you understand the healthcare modes, and we want you to be literate in many of the discussions that we're having and that we have in healthcare today. And then lastly, just understanding the qualities and attributes of professionalism in the healthcare setting. We want to set you up for success professionally. We want you to be the best professional you can be and succeed moving forward, and that kind of goes around all aspects of you as an individual and your character as well. And we want to see you and help you, guide you to being a great professional in the healthcare setting, and in that matching those Fit For principles and building your character as well is an important part of healthcare today. And I think that's it for this slide.
Yes, thank you. Can you share, Dr. Stark, some of the benefits of earning a healthcare degree?
Absolutely.
Healthcare administration degree.
Of course. I have a master's in healthcare administration, so I understand, and I've worked with healthcare administration students. I myself have a degree in healthcare administration. I get a lot of questions about this, and I'm happy to help guide you and help you work towards your goals. Now, there's so many opportunities. The healthcare degree, the healthcare in general, in America, the healthcare system is growing. We're growing by leaps and bounds, and we have so many possibilities in the future for future positions, and I'll talk more about that. But as a requirement, a degree in healthcare administration is often the minimum requirement for most medical health professions. So many of the healthcare disciplines or occupations you want to go in, you at least have to have a degree. A bachelor's degree is a great stepping stone towards a master's, as Dr. Favara mentioned earlier. As a regionally accredited institution, this provides you with a much more opportunities if you want to pursue a master's degree or move forward with your education towards a master's. You'll have a lot of opportunities for that as well if you want to move forward. The salary, there's a lot of excellent opportunities in terms of salary. Graduates with a bachelor's degree earn at least $1,000 more a week than individuals with a high school diploma. So that's just something to think about. I think in healthcare it's probably significantly more than that. Low unemployment. Graduates of a bachelor's degree have a much less unemployment rate. Okay, so learning the skills for success. We want to set you up with all the skills and everything that you need to know so you can succeed moving forward. And I mentioned that in the previous slide with some of the courses that you will be taking. But we want you to learn leadership skills, analytical skills, detail-oriented skills, and those communication skills that I mentioned earlier are critical for you working with others. And as I mentioned, healthcare works as a great team to provide the best quality of care. Different departments work together for that as well. And so we want to set you up by learning these skills so you can succeed moving forward.
Thank you. Dr. Stark, can you share with us what the career landscape looks like for program graduates?
Absolutely. There are an amazing amount of opportunities in the healthcare field, and the great thing about earning a degree in healthcare administration is that it opens you up to a wide variety of healthcare management, healthcare services disciplines, and as you can see, even healthcare services managers. So just because you don't see a job opening for a healthcare administrator doesn't mean that you're not being able to use your degree in healthcare administration. There's so many areas for you to use that, and as a leader, as a facility manager, as a department manager, as a clinic manager, even working in charities, and I'll be talking more about this, I'm sure, as we move forward, but the career opportunities for graduates, here's some of these areas: health information manager, outpatient care supervisors. A lot of our students have worked in nursing facilities or in home care, this is going to be another really, really wide opportunity for students and for those who have a healthcare administration degree, because with the aging population, we're going to see a very large growth in our patient care in terms of nursing home facilities, hospice care facilities. So those are going to be a very, very good opportunity for you, and you can go in with a degree in more of a management position. You have more opportunities for that, and like I mentioned, you even have opportunities to work in charities or foundations, which a lot of people don't think about. The American Association of Cancer Research, the American Cancer Society, they all need managers. They all need people to help them with marketing their materials or working to help raise money for their foundation. And you learn those key aspects here. And also, like I mentioned earlier, staying compliant with information. There's a lot of compliance positions that work in these hospitals. Somebody has to make sure that everybody's staying compliant with current laws and regulations, and that's another big area that all of our hospitals and facilities hire as well that I think people don't necessarily think about. So the outlook is wonderful. The annual average salary of healthcare administrator is $50,000 to $170,000. Of course, we want you to work up to that, but the outlook, as you can see, is very, very well. The typical entry education for a bachelor's degree is the typical entry level education is going in with a bachelor's degree, and that's expected. This health services managers and working in the healthcare administration area is projected to grow by 17%, which is considered much faster than average. And you will see, even if you just look at your local healthcare facilities, there's a lot of opportunities in the healthcare field. And with a degree, it just gets you one step further in that position, and it kind of gets your foot there and in the door and inching through, and your resume up towards the top of the list whenever you have a degree in healthcare, and you know, whenever you're in that interview, you know all of these areas that we're discussing from these courses: compliance, you know, law and regulation, you know about the healthcare system, you know about healthcare marketing. So we're setting you up for success in those areas. And I could keep talking about this, but I should probably move on to the next slide.
Thank you. So as some of you may already know, there are many benefits to online learning, but it varies depending on what program you choose. I'd like to invite the Student Success Advisor, Courtney Mosey, to give us an idea of the type of supported online learning experience that students can expect while they're in the program. Thank you. So even though this program is specifically online, I think from the very beginning we want all of our students to feel supported and part of the Central Christian community when they're in classes. And I know earlier Dr. Starke mentioned a lot about the support and interactions you'll have not only with the faculty in your classes, but also with your peers as you progress through the program. So really, we work with you from the admissions process all the way till you complete your program and are at the point to graduate. So you'll notice when you're in your classes especially, we really promote you to communicate and connect with the faculty and your instructors, but also with your classmates. So one of the first things as you begin classes that you'll see is the faculty contact information. A lot of instructors at a minimum will have information with their email address for you to reach out to, but students are encouraged to schedule one-on-one sessions with their instructors over the phone. Some will provide that contact information right at the beginning for you. They really want to give you the support you need so they can connect with Skype. We have Zoom live sessions as well to help. So throughout the course and throughout your program, any questions you have, you can contact them for help. They're really good at being responsive and giving the feedback that you need. And especially as you grow through your classes and work with instructors, you know, more focused to your program, they'll be able to work with you and provide guidance, especially as you get to the very end for your applied research capstone project. so that they can give you, feedback and support along the way. As a student success advisor, I'm excited to work with you as you get started. Right in the beginning, you get paired with a student success advisor. So we're here till the very end to keep in touch with you and just make sure you're doing okay. We have a lot of students with different backgrounds. So, some students come in never taking online classes before, and that's fine. We want to definitely help give you the insight and information you need to feel more comfortable and confident. We have some students who have taken online classes before, but there's still always helpful resources that we can help provide you through the program just to give you a little bit more of a foundation. So some of those supports that we can help with are we work with you to plan out your courses and finalize your schedule every semester. As you get started, we look at any transfer credit evaluations so we can make sure if you have questions that they're answered, because we really want to work out a progression with your classes so that you will be successful through the entire program. If you've never taken online classes or just getting used to our format, we help you with any questions. We help you navigate through it on the first day of your class. We can go over time management. We know you're balancing a lot of things, taking classes online personally and professionally, so we want to help make sure that from the very beginning we have you on a good path. We also help if you have maybe questions for the registrar or other departments on the campus. We can help get you to the right place so that those questions can be answered. Some additional support, we can help provide resources for some career and degree counseling. As Dr. Starke mentioned, your faculty and instructors are a great point of contact as well if you have questions, since a lot of them are in the field or have a lot of background. We also have a technical support team that can help along the way. So if you ever have questions about Microsoft Office or need help logging into a certain area for your classes, we can certainly help so that you're on the path to do well through the rest of your degree.
Thank you so much, Courtney. So there are many options available for students looking to complete a healthcare administration degree online. Dr. Favara, can you explain to our audience what some of the benefits are in choosing to enroll in the healthcare administration program at CCC?
Yeah, so let me just, those first three, flexibility, accessibility, and asynchronous learning, let me tell you what, I'm an administrator. I've got 2 toddlers at home. I've got community things that I'm involved in, church, the neighbors' kids coming over all the time. My wife works, so I got to take out the garbage, do the dishes. So in the middle of all that, I also got to try to take classes too. We understand the reality of life, and that sometimes life is difficult. It changes. It's flexing all the time. So we wanted to be sure in creating the program that we put together an experience that flexes with you. So when we talk about being accessible and flexible, it means that the system is there for you whenever and however often you can get on and access that system. There's not necessarily specific times. Now, the professors will host some live lectures or discussion times, but even those will be recorded. So if you can't get there, at least you can go back and watch that and be a part of that. But if if you're a 3rd shift, 1st shift, 2nd shift, 10th shift, I don't know what shift you're on, but it doesn't matter. You could get on if it's at 3 in the morning or 6 in the morning or 5 in the afternoon. You can hold a baby in one arm, be doing dishes in the other, and reading your textbook at the same time. If it's on a mobile device or an iPad device or a computer device, idea is this program is made so that you could pursue it at a pace that works for you. That's one of the reasons we only do 1 class at a time. A lot of institutions, you may look at it and think, well, I can get through this quicker, maybe, but you know what it's like trying to do a statistics class and a management class at the same time? Yay. For us, 6 weeks at a time, we focus on one thing, we work with you, 24/7 you can get on, you finish your assignments, for the deadlines that are in there, but you can turn it anytime during that week. It allows you to kind of take a breath and engage the experience. And of course, the whole other side, which is the entire team of people that are back behind you trying to help you do all the things that you need to get done. The resources, not even on this slide, things that I can think of like tutoring. Besides the fact that you have highly qualified faculty and facilitators that are going to help you through these courses, besides the fact that you even have a team that they just kind of sit around waiting to just talk with you on the phone or email just to make sure you're okay or answer your questions. We even offer free tutoring service, which means if you need some additional help, no problem. We'll get you connected with a tutor that can help you out. These are qualified people that will just kind of step through, maybe take things at a slower pace so that you make sure that you're mastering what you need to master. We also make sure every student has the full MS Office suite. So you have all you got the Excel and the Word and the PowerPoint and everything that you need at no cost to you. That's part of the program. The fact that the balance part, the fit for part, again, I get to this idea that we teach from a holistic point of view. It's not just about the knowledge. Look, when you're sitting down in an interview and there's two people and both of you have degrees from institutions in healthcare, the difference is going to be what more you bring to the table. And that's what we're all about. We're not just about getting you a degree that says healthcare management or healthcare administration on the front of it. We're about getting you a degree plus. And I always want you to think about that. Whenever you're at this program, we're always dealing with the pluses. How can I become a better person? How can I be better in my community? How can I get involved with things? How can I think critically? Those are the differences that are going to get you the jobs or the promotions that you're looking for. Of course, we try to keep that tuition as affordable as possible. You look at us compared to many other institutions all throughout the United States and the world, and you're going to be hard-pressed to find an institution that does as well as we do with tuition. And understand that tuition includes everything that you need, the tuition and the books, the tuition fees that are there, that covers all your books and everything. And there's no upfront fees. So, to get started, we're not going to nickel and dime you along the way. You just apply. We'll get you with a financial aid officer to help you make sure that you're getting the most aid possible. 97% of our students get some sort of aid, so we'll make sure that happens. And then we just get you in the program. From there, whatever the tuition cost is, that covers whatever it is that you need to be able to get through the course. So a week or so before your course starts, a book will show up in the mail ready for you to get started in the course. You just sign in, you do it, you got your teachers, you got your tutoring, you got your Word, you got the support team, you got everyone behind you helping you out. And we're going to see you, we're going to step-by-step you. The only time we're not going to walk hand in hand with you is when you finally walk across the platform and get your degree. The only thing that will happen at that point is we'll shake your hand and then let you go out and become an awesome alumni of the institution. So to me, that's why I choose. Plus, there's a guy like me on the other side administrating this, making sure that you are being taken care of. And so you kind of have my guarantee that we're going to be there for you. So that's why I think you should invest your time with Central Christian College.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to turn it over to Enrollment Advisor Rocky Desai, who will share a little bit about the requirements for admissions as well as the some important dates to keep in mind if you are considering applying.
Thanks, Lidge. Hi, everyone. We heard a lot of great stuff today about not only the program, but the type of support that you receive. When it comes to the application process, the support and information that we can provide starts there. So what I mean by that, the first step for students that are interested in applying is to get in contact with an advisor. I'm one of the two advisors for the online program here. My contact information is in the bottom right hand. Basically what we like to do in talking with students is to learn about the student, which is very important for us because you've heard today a lot of things about the different types of support we offer. We really want to know in that conversation what we can do to really support you to make sure you walk across that stage for graduation. So it's a great way for us to not only give you information about the program, but for us to learn about you and see how we can help you the most. Okay, now in terms of requirements for the admission, we do look for a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. There's an online application that you would fill out. We would also need a official high school diploma or GED, whichever one you received. And then for students that have taken college credits previously, we would also need official transcripts from any college institution that you've attended. Now, in the yellow highlighted portion, you'll see our next 2 terms coming up. In terms of the application process, it typically takes 7 days, so it's not an all-encompassing application process. It's very simple, very simple and streamlined. And basically, my job as admissions advisor, once you determine that you want to apply, I'll walk you through the process and take a step-by-step, just like Dr. Favara was mentioning earlier, from from getting accepted into the program to setting up appointments to speak with your student success coach, as well as setting up appointments to speak with student finance as well. Now, the important dates here, our upcoming term starts November 27th, which we're accepting applications for currently. The term after that is January 15th. So we're currently accepting applications for both. If you have any questions and would like to apply, my contact information is there on the bottom right-hand corner.
Thank you, and I would just like to reiterate here that it's probably best to reach out to an enrollment advisor before you start your application, just because they have so much valuable information to guide you through that process. So now we've reached the Q&A portion of our presentation. Audience members, please enter your questions now, last chance. So our first question that has come in is, this is for Dr. Starke. Can you explain how graduates of the program have used the Applied Research Capstone project to advance in their professional careers? Can you provide any examples?
Sure. It's, everybody is a little bit different in terms of what direction you want to take for your applied research project. Now, if you want to focus on a specific area that you're looking to go into, absolutely, if that's something that you want to focus on, is working in maybe it's a clinic, maybe there's a place that you have in your hometown that's local, and you want to maybe work there someday, and you want to focus on a clinic opportunity, then I would focus your applied research project on maybe more of a small clinic. Maybe it's a physician's office, maybe it's a family practitioner's. Maybe you want to work in the office, maybe you want to work with marketing, or maybe you want to work with practice management, maybe you want to be the practice manager. Then that's something that you would focus on in your applied research project, and you may even get the chance to work with that facility and talk with them about your applied research project, and you might be able to get some questions and some answers and help you get your foot in the door about your future opportunity. It's very rare where you see a facility turn somebody away because they're wanting to expand and grow with their knowledge. So it definitely helps get your foot in the door while expanding your education and your knowledge in that specific area. And of course, on top of everything else that you're learning in your courses, that you will want to apply to that as well. But it's really nice whenever you are able to focus it on a specific area, which I always recommend for students to focus more specifically on something that they're interested in, and maybe a future career that they're wanting to look at.
Thank you. Another question that's come in is, can you, for you, Dr. Starke, can you explain what type of previous job experience could possibly translate into credits?
I specifically don't look at those areas for credits. I believe that the enrollment and admissions would look at that. I think it just depends on what classes you're wanting to look at, and I think that we are able to match that up based on your work experience in many different areas. And I'm not sure, is there anybody on here that can answer that maybe works more closely with that?
A lot of times it will depend on the type of training. For our jobs, we do professional development, maybe go through a certification, or maybe we've just had multiple years in the field. The registrars are able to sit down. Some of that's already spelled out, as simple as first aid. there might be a credit or two that could be picked up because you're first aid certified. From there, who knows? Because again, people's experiences are so different. But we'll look at that and be able to determine. And so part of the process that Rocky was describing earlier is that we'll go through a process of looking at all that and let you know ahead of time what it is you'll look at transferring in.
Thank you. Another question that's come in is for you, Dr. Stark, regarding what students can expect in your classes. Can you give us an idea of the different types of projects? I know you mentioned weekly discussions and posts, but across all your classes, can you give us an idea of the different mix of projects that students might be involved in?
Sure, yeah. Now, a majority of our healthcare courses follow a very similar format. Every week you will have your discussions, like I mentioned, and you will have your assignment, which will apply to the key competencies that we've learned during that week. But we'll also, some of our units have a quiz that you might take, and of course we hope set you up and prepare you to take that quiz. And then at the end of each class, you will have an overall final project that you'll be working on, and all of these are provided in the syllabus. So if you're one of those that want to get a head start on it and start working on it at the beginning of the term, then you can go ahead and do that. But that will be a final project that you have at the end of the class, where you will use what you've learned, gather your information and your research from credible resources, and submit a final project based on that materials that you've learned that term. And we will give you a scenario. A lot of times we like to provide real world scenarios to help you, provide you with a better outlook and prepare you for your future. So we like to bring that in as often as we can, and so you can apply it in your future.
Thank you. For those of you who have questions about the program or are thinking about beginning an application, this is Rocky's information here. That's his picture, so handsome. Please reach out to him. He's happy to help you. He's ready to answer your call right now. And this essentially concludes our webinar presentation today. Thank you all for joining us, and a special thanks to our panelists who joined us today. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.